Alright guys, get about the nofap streaks. This is a very important video. A lot of people covered this already, like Hamza. Natural hypertrophy. I think Harbinators also covered it at some point in time. Don't quite remember exactly where, but I do remember the other two covering it. And it's quite a prevalent thing in the nofap streak people that invade the YouTube space in a way. It's common to believe in the circles that I peruse that for nofap streaks is a shekel to be put on to join the nofap community. So yeah, you have to kind of conform and keep saying you streak. That's the only thing that matters. It's crazy. There's other ways to measure that, you know, like how severe is it in general? Like how many times do you do it in a week? That's a good one. You can mark progress with that. How much time do you waste on it? Another good one. How bad are your weird kinks? So yeah, it's one of the few things I'm gonna say. Healthy alternatives, monthly review and date on no-fap days versus days fapped. The streaks are kind of toxic in a way that because every time you go back down to zero, you feel a way like a world ending. Oh, I fucked up. I'm back to square one. You're not back to square one. You've gotten some XP. You might have leveled up, and you're probably on the way to stopping that addiction, that impulse, the bad habit. But it's lost when you just focus on streaks. Streaks are, in general, are not very useful because realistically, you're gonna keep failing occasionally, at least sometimes. That's just what like life gives you, is you'll be tested, and some of those times you'll fail those tests, and life just gives you that, and there's no real big way to avoid it other than just being okay with failure, but still coming up, still trying, still getting back on that horse. That's what matters. The streak doesn't really matter. It's the improvement overall, which will get you a better start in especially your mental. Your mental is what matters. When the biggest thing about the streaks is like the mental health side of it is just like horrendous because you're trying to use streaks. You feel good faster. You feel like you've accomplished more faster, and then you crash, and then you feel horrendous. You're off on it. I think in the long term it will stop making you make that progress, make you more addicted to just redoing those streaks over and over. Whilst if you just do it's just like a generic, oh, how many times did I do it this week? How many times did I do it this month? Did I do it this month? Did I do it this year? You know? Very simple, no nonsense way to approach it, and a better way to measure progress as well. I mean, like streaks, I would say it's just worst data. Like your biggest streak last year could have been like 20 days, and then your biggest streak the following year could be like 15. But the difference could be that you did it like 30 times less overall the following year, and your average is like way more than the average on the past year. Also, you could try doing less hardcore uh, prawn watching and try to get to more vanilla genres before ultimately using your imagination afterwards. I've tried this method somewhat in the past, and it helps the more negative effects of prawn use, which can't be good. Just when I'm more talking about like crazy fetishes, weird shit that you get into if you get real down bad, like I've been in the past several times. I'll probably happen at least a few more times in the future. Touch wood, it won't happen, but you never know. The more vanilla stuff is basically like more mainstream shit, kinda. I think the most mainstream stuff is generally the most vanilla, so just look up like the top 20 categories on Pornhub and you'll find out. And the problem, it's a good method, But the problem with this method is you're still doing it. You're still getting that instant gratification. It might take more time out of your day, but you are rewiring your brain not to indulge in the most down bad, horrendous, disgusting, weirdo bullshit, freaky shit. You know, that's quite important as well. Not just the not doing it, but also like having a clearer, less weirdo things, so that when you do the real thing, you won't have that weird expectations and attitude towards having sex. Okay, so we're just gonna go back to the benefits of nofap, just to clue in the people that don't really know what I'm talking about. So this is all about not masturbating. It's kind of funny when I say it. The most obvious is cutting the time it takes to do it. So yeah, the biggest benefit is just time saving. You become more excited by the real. So yeah, just like, I wouldn't know, but like, I've had some more intimate things happen to me recently, and when I was going on a streak, it felt like 10 times. No, not 10 times. I'm exaggerating, but like, I would say at least 3 times more exciting, arousing. You could say that. Helps ED. Oh yes, big opponent in ED is just like overindulging, over consuming, overdoing the prawns. Also, nofap resets the brain, so less shameful porn or less hardcore stuff, less fetishization, less perversion, more energy. Oh yeah, obviously. You wouldn't believe how much of a difference it makes in your daily life, energy-wise, and clarity of mind, and like just less shame in life. Just cutting that stuff out. To me, it never seemed like it takes much energy. I think it saps more than you actually use up. You know, less dopamine spikes, meaning less firing of dopamine receptors. Yeah, so you don't want to be a crackhead, basically on dopamine, which means finding other stuff more fun and enjoyable. So you'll enjoy like everyday life, like things like just eating, walking. You'll enjoy that more. Just being alive, you'll enjoy that more. The sun, reading, talking to your family and friends, being close, intimate with people, you really enjoy that more. Yeah, less dips in testosterone. So the big thing about this is like there's been like this study going round for a while now in the men's space is 7 days after your testosterone peaks, kind of goes down, but you overall, I think, are higher testosterone when you don't jank it. That's quite important because testosterone is related to like motivation, making hard work feel more rewarding, basically, which is very important for a man. It's our lifeblood, man. You can't go without it. Just makes you better in every way. Could save you money if you're a consumer. So yeah, if you just pay that shit like OnlyFans or shit, yeah, obviously that will save you some money. No motivation to talk to real women. Oh yeah, because now you can't release. You will be encouraged to be more active, more interested in girls in general. Like I've found that in myself too. Like when I'm in the gym, sometimes when I'm like on a good, when I'm doing well on nofap, I'll just like way more attentive, and I'll try to strike up a few combos, which is always nice. Potential downsides of nofap: can be more obsessed with women and morning wood. You can mitigate this by having a routine to take your mind off it, or just fill up your time in general, because people usually fap because they are bored. Very true. I used to always fap because I was bored. It's just that weird cycling of dopamine where like, yeah, you playing all the video games you want, like you go back in time. Bored of the video games, you're bored of watching shit on YouTube, you're bored of browsing social media, you're bored of Netflix, you're bored of literally everything, you just jack it, then you do something else. That's like the biggest kryptonite, is like boredom, I think, to things. So yeah, you just have to fill up your day somehow. So being obsessed with women and having what wanted with. Personally, it's kind of a negative, kind of a positive, because you feel more powerful when you wake up. Like, honestly, you do. You just feel like you have some strength in a way. Maybe that's just my primitive brain. Some primitive shit in my brain that's just telling me that. But it's true to me, at least. So the downside to that morning wood stuff is just like having to wait to take your mind off it. It takes like 5-10 minutes. So it's not too bad unless you have to go toilet when it does become bad. But yeah. Being obsessed with women, that can be like a very problem, because I remember the first man talk about like, yeah, he had this nofap streak. He started becoming weird. He started getting like more desperate and stuff like that. So, something like that. I don't quite remember, but something like that. His solution to that would be to take the edge off by getting a girl and just like play on her, I guess. Or like his other potential solution would be like paying for it to relieve the stress, the weirdum, pent up bullshit. He said that if you can't get it normally, that would be probably the best way to do it. Which I'm not opposed to if I need to. But I've yet to get to that point where it was like, he said like it was like three months or something, or like more than that. I've yet to get to that point where I've not done it for 3 months straight, which I'll probably hit either this year or next year, I think. So yeah, if you enjoy that. In conclusion, avoid obsessing about your streak, and remember the reasons why you're doing this. You're not doing it to gamify it and to make it into a weird streak thing, because that you're just like, you're farming dopamine at that point if you do it like that. You need to, as blasé, as normal as possible, essentially, like, just like, this is just me now. I just don't do this. I just don't focus on the streak, because that's just getting you hooked on like, making this like a whole personality thing. It's just weird and unproductive. It's hard to explain exactly in what way it's weird, but anyway, like, I gave you the reasons why. Some of them, I'm sure you could list more if you wanted in the comments, if you want to. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you and goodbye.